Right now, someone is reading your psychological blueprint. They know exactly which buttons to press to make you comply. And you have no idea it's happening. Every master manipulator follows the same playbook. They use predictable psychological scripts that have been refined for centuries. These scripts turn ordinary conversations into psychological traps. The moment someone starts reading from this script, you become an actor in their play. You're following their direction without realizing you're even performing. But here's what they don't want you to know. Every manipulation script relies on 5 specific trigger words. Once you recognize these words, their power over you vanishes instantly. The FBI has studied these patterns for decades. They know that awareness is your strongest weapon against psychological manipulation. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The first word that should trigger every alarm in your mind. Obviously. When someone says obviously, they're not sharing information, they're programming your mind. This single word creates what psychologists call false consensus. It makes you believe everyone already agrees. Your brain hears obviously and thinks, I must be the only one who doesn't understand. FBI interrogators know this trick well. They'll say, obviously you were there, to a suspect. The word bypasses your critical thinking. It presents opinion as universal fact. Watch how manipulators use it. Obviously you want what's best for your family. Obviously, this investment is perfect for you. Each time, they're not arguing their point. They're making you feel stupid for questioning it. The moment you hear obviously, your defenses should activate. Because nothing is obvious when someone needs to tell you it is. Real authority doesn't need to announce itself. Real truth doesn't require your immediate agreement. Now you know the first manipulation trigger. But there are 4 more words that are even more dangerous. The second word in their arsenal is even more insidious. It preys on your deepest fear. Everyone. 3 syllables that can collapse your independent thinking in seconds. When someone says, everyone thinks you should do this, they're weaponizing your tribal instincts. Your brain, hardwired for survival, screams, don't be cast out from the tribe. This is social proof manipulation, the illusion that masses validate their demand. But here's what they don't tell you. Everyone is nobody. It's a ghost army. History's greatest manipulations began with this exact word. Salem witch trials. Everyone knows she's guilty. Nazi propaganda. Everyone supports the cause. Financial bubbles. Everyone is buying. The pattern is always identical. Create phantom consensus to override individual judgment. Your coworker says everyone thinks you're difficult. Your family says everyone is worried about you. The manipulator becomes the voice of an imaginary collective. The spokesperson for ghosts. When you hear everyone, your next question should be, name 3 specific people. Watch them stumble. Watch the phantom army dissolve into what it always was. Nothing. Everyone is no one. And you just caught them red-handed. Building on what we've covered, there's a third word that's even more insidious. It doesn't sound threatening. It sounds reasonable. The word should is the most sophisticated psychological weapon in the manipulator's arsenal. Here's why it's so dangerous. When someone says, you should do this or you shouldn't feel that way, they're programming obligation into your mind without providing any logical reason. Should bypasses your rational mind completely. It targets something deeper, your sense of moral obligation and guilt. The psychology is brilliant and terrifying. Should creates manufactured guilt that feels completely real to your brain. Think about it. When someone says you should visit your family more, they're not presenting facts or making a logical argument. They're installing a guilt program that runs automatically every time you make a different choice. This is psychological conditioning. The FBI identifies should as a primary indicator of emotional manipulation, because it creates obligation without justification. Here's the test. Next time someone uses should on you, ask them why. Watch how they struggle to provide actual reasons. Most of the time, they'll get defensive or repeat the should statement louder. This reveals the manipulation immediately. Breaking free from should-based control starts with recognizing that you have the right to ask, according to who? Your decisions belong to you, not to someone else's unexamined assumptions about what you should do. The moment you stop accepting should without question, you reclaim your psychological freedom from guilt-based manipulation. But we're not done. The final two words we're about to uncover, two words that should make your blood run cold. Trust me. FBI behavioral analysts know something chilling about these words. They're the calling card of predators. Here's what federal profilers discovered after interviewing hundreds of con artists. Genuine trust never announces itself. It builds through consistent actions over time. But when someone demands trust verbally, they're bypassing the natural trust-building process. They're essentially saying, skip your instincts, ignore your doubt, surrender your judgment. FBI case files reveal a disturbing pattern. Trust me appears in 97% of recorded scammer conversations. Romance scammers use it an average of 11 times per conversation. Investment fraudsters deploy it right before asking for money. Why? Because trustworthy people demonstrate reliability through actions, not desperate verbal assurances. When someone says trust me, they're revealing their awareness of your doubt. They know you shouldn't trust them. That's precisely why they're saying it. Your doubt exists for a reason. It's your psychological immune system detecting a threat. The moment someone tries to shut down that system with, trust me, they've exposed their true intentions. Now that you know the 5 manipulation triggers, it's time to weaponize this knowledge. The FBI teaches agents the 3-second rule. When someone uses these trigger words, count to 3. 1, 2, 3. In those 3 seconds, your logical brain overrides their emotional manipulation. When someone says, obviously, your response is silence. Let them fill the awkward pause. They'll reveal their true intentions when they scramble to justify their obvious claim. When they use everyone, ask for specifics. Everyone, can you name 3 people? Watch them crumble as their fictional social pressure dissolves into thin air. When they deploy should, respond with according to who. Force them to reveal their authority source. Most manipulators have no real authority. They're borrowing power they don't possess, and when they say, trust me, your answer is simple. I need more information first. Trustworthy people provide evidence. Predators demand blind faith. Practice these responses until they become automatic. Your psychological armor must be instinctive. Remember, manipulation only works when you're unaware it's happening. Now that you see the strings, no puppet master can control you again. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.